Hey, what's up, good people? I'm QC. Welcome to this special edition for Talking and Grubbing. Last year, close to the NBA Finals, I had compiled a list called Top 10 Unsung NBA Champions. This wasn't a greatest ever list or even a best of list. This was just a list of champions who I felt hadn't gotten their just due. Sorry it's taking me so long to get to this video, but I got busy with life and also got busy doing other videos. But since the NBA has resumed, I figured this was the right time to do this video. I've listed my top 9 NBA champions, but who claims that number 1 spot? At number 1, I have the 1995 Houston Rockets. Just like the Pistons, the Rockets were also coming off of winning a championship. They defeated the New York Knicks in 7 hard-fought games in the NBA Finals the previous season. The Rockets were flying high, and repeating was all but sewn up, or so they thought. Although the Rockets started out the 94-95 season by winning their first 9 games and being 31-17 at the All-Star break, due to the increased competition in the West at the time with the Spurs, Jazz, and Suns, Rockets ownership and management felt there needed to be an upgrade in order for them to repeat. The Rockets' play had been lackluster and they had lost the drive and motivation that had made them champs the previous season. People were even saying that they were going to be the first defending NBA champion to miss the playoffs. In mid-season, they traded away Otis Thorpe, who had been a huge part of their championship team, to the Portland Trail Blazers for star Clyde Drexler. This trade seemed to be perfect for Clyde the Glide and the Rockets. Clyde grew up in Houston, he played college ball there, and he was a college teammate of Hakeem Olajuwon's from their Phi Slamma Jamma days at the University of Houston back in the 80s. But anything that seems perfect ain't perfect. The trade caused a huge rift in the Rockets locker room. Kenny Smith, Robert Horry, and Vernon Maxwell vocally objected the Drexler trade. The Rockets struggled in the second half of the season and dropped further in the standings in the West. They ended up going 17-18 after the Drexler trade. They finished 47-35, which gave them the 6th seed in the West and the 11th best record in the NBA. They finished 7th in offensive rating while finishing 12th in defensive rating. And they finished 8th in points scored while finishing 14th in points allowed. The Rockets began their long, hard road to a repeat. And it began with Karl Malone, John Stockton, and the Utah Jazz. The Jazz had the 3rd best record in the West and they won 60 games. The series went back and forth, but the Rockets will ultimately prevail in 5 hard-fought games. Then they matched up with Charles Barkley and the Phoenix Suns in the second round for the 2nd straight year. The Suns took the first 2 games at home, while the Rockets took game 3 at home. The Rockets found themselves down 3-1 after the Suns took a hard-fought game 4 win in Houston. The Rockets would show their championship medal by winning game 5 and game 6, setting up the decisive game 7. Early in game 7, the Suns took a big lead, but the Rockets would fight back. In the final seconds of the 4th quarter, the game was tied at 107 apiece, but instead of going to dream or glide for the go-ahead shot, the Rockets decided to go to an unlikely hero. And he wouldn't just hit the biggest shot in Houston Rockets history, he would hit one of the most memorable shots in NBA playoff history.
Ellie out of the corner for three, hit it! Mario Ellie with a three! Mario Ellie has given the Houston Rockets a three-point lead.
It was just wonderful. I just jumped in there, and the first guy I looked at was Joe Klein and blew him the kiss of death, and he looked like he was about to cry over there.
It's over. The Houston Rockets have won Game 7.
Mario Ellie hit the shot that is now called the kiss of death that put the Rockets up for good and ultimately won them the series. They're still talking about that shot 25 years later. For the second straight year, the Rockets were back in the Western Conference Finals. This time they were matched up against the San Antonio Spurs, who had the best record in the NBA with 62 wins and MVP David Robinson. The Rockets would take the first two games in San Antonio and ultimately knock off their in-state rivals in 6 games. Against all odds, the Houston Rockets were back in the NBA Finals, and they defeated 3 teams with 55 or more wins to get there. And they didn't have home court advantage in none of the 3 rounds. The Rockets were going up against a young, dynamic Orlando Magic team that was anchored by Shaq and Penny Hardaway, who had a nice run through the Eastern Conference playoffs. They swept the Boston Celtics 3 straight, then they spoiled Michael Jordan's return to the NBA by knocking off his Chicago Bulls in 6 games. Then they knocked off Reggie Miller and the tough Pacers in 7 hard-fought games. Many analysts and experts picked the Magic to win this series. And the Magic were playing like the favorites experts thought they would be in Game 1. They led by as many as 20 points, but the Rockets had other ideas. In the second half, the Rockets stormed back like they had done all postseason long. But the Rockets thought their comeback had fallen a little bit short as they fouled Nick Anderson not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times in the final seconds. But he missed all 4 free throws that would have iced the game for the Magic. So opportunity was knocking for the Rockets. In the final seconds, Penny Hardaway was guarding Kenny the Jet Smith, and he blew by him. Jet got himself open for a 3-pointer that tied the game and sent it into overtime. He hit a record 7 3-pointers in that game. Then in the final seconds of overtime, Hakeem Olajuwon tipped in a Clyde Drexler miss that gave the Rockets a 2-point win and a 1-0 series lead. But the Rockets wasn't just satisfied with that one win in Orlando. They would go on to win Game 2 in Orlando to take a 2-0 series lead. Hakeem had 34 points, Sam Cassell had 31 points off the bench, and Clyde Drexler had 23 points. In Game 3, the Rockets won a nail-biter. Now, they weren't just one win away from repeating as champions, they were also one win away from making history. But it wasn't going to be easy closing out this young and hungry Magic team. In the first half of Game 4, the Magic had a 4-point lead. In the second half, the Rockets went on a 66-50 flurry to complete the sweep of the Magic to win back-to-back NBA championships. They were also the first 6 seed to ever win an NBA title. Hakeem Olajuwon was rightfully named Finals MVP as he averaged 34 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks throughout the series. Clyde Drexler finally got that elusive ring. He averaged 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. Also, Robert Horry, he averaged 17 points and 10 rebounds throughout the series. Mario Ellie, he averaged 16 points, while Sam Cassell came up with 14 big points off the bench in this series. So this was a total team effort by the Houston Rockets to get this second championship. Looking back 25 years later, that Rockets run was remarkable. I mean, they got to the NBA Finals despite the fact that they did not have home court advantage in any of the 3 rounds of the Western Conference playoffs. A lot of NBA fans dismissed the Rockets' 2 championships because Michael Jordan had retired when they won them. I always found that disrespectful. Look who they had to beat to get those championships. The first one, they had to beat Patrick Ewing and John Starks. The second one, they had to beat Shaq and Penny. What do both of those teams in the East have in common? They had to beat the Bulls to get to the NBA Finals. What do a lot of these Jordan fans think? That the NBA should have stopped once Jordan retired temporarily? No, the NBA goes on. A new champion had to be crowned. And nobody can say that the Rockets did not earn those championships, because they did. Especially in 1995, when all the odds were against them, despite the fact that they were defending champions. So all I'm saying is that anyone that wins a championship should not be diminished. They should be applauded because they fought hard, they worked hard to get to that point, and they worked even harder to get to the top of the mountain. Anyways, that's my list. What do you think about the 1995 Rockets? Or what do you think about all the teams I put on my list? Leave your comments in the comment section below. I want to thank all my loyal subscribers for supporting me. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Don't make it your last. Subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell and click all so you don't miss any new videos from me. Also, like, comment, and share the video. Till next time, y'all have a good one. Love y'all to life. QC out.
I have one thing to say to those non-believers. Don't ever underestimate the heart of a champion.
Hey, what's up, good people? It's QC once again. Now that you saw the video, subscribe to the channel. When you do, click on the bell icon so that way you won't miss any new videos from me and be mad. Let your family and friends miss those videos and let them be mad. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Like me on Facebook. Thanks for watching.